Like a lot of veterans, Brian Henry gets emotional thinking about his time in Afghanistan.
A lot of things happen downrange, and still a lot of things I don't talk about.
Like the friends he lost and the injuries he suffered when his unit hit 2 IEDs.
Got my world rocked a little bit, seen stars, and then as time progressed, my memory and thought process was changed.
Brian's wife Lori didn't realize how much he'd changed until they were transferred back to Joint Base Lewis McChord a year later.
He was withdrawn. He kept having nightmares. He just wasn't the same person.
Brian was diagnosed with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder. Doctors at VA Puget Sound say many vets who served in Afghanistan and Iraq are suffering.
It seems like as the numbers are coming in, as we understand it, we're looking at about 15 to 20% or so of deployed veterans that are having significant symptoms of PTSD.
Dr. Joel Mitchell says the numbers could be much worse because he says many vets have a tough time admitting they need help.
The idea that it'll get better, I'm not going to live with this for the rest of my life. I can tough it out and it'll go away.
Brian left the service last year and he did start counseling, but he says it hasn't been easy adjusting to civilian life.
The big threat downrange was suicide bombers in the markets, and try to stay away from crowds as much as possible.
Doctors say a lot of PTSD sufferers isolate themselves.
They want to avoid memories of the experience. They want to avoid panic. They want to avoid feeling uncomfortable, avoid crowds.
That doesn't make it easy for family members like Lori.
You're not dealing with the same person that you dealt with before. So you have to learn how to adjust.
But Brian and Lori have found new hope in Donner, a service dog.
They don't judge you. They love you no matter what.
Denise Constantin works for the Bellingham nonprofit organization Brigadoon, training service dogs for disabled people. When someone approached her about training a dog for a vet, she thought about her brother who had served in Vietnam.
It was the personal experience from seeing my brother be such a broken person when he came back, and at that time nobody heard of PTSD.
Brian and Donner are just beginning their training with Denise, but Lori says she's already seen a difference in her husband.
He smiles more, and he's able to get out and walk. He's kind of like a battle buddy would be for him in the Army. He's got this, I've got your back, you've got my back, and that's what it's building, and I can see it more and more every day.
Dr. Mitchell says he understands the benefits of service dogs and has supported patients who have asked for them.
Dogs, for example, are fairly hypervigilant. They're always aware of what's going on, and they're going to let you know if something's going on that shouldn't be going on. So there's some sort of relaxation that patients will report.
That's what Brian's been noticing with Donner.
He's something else. I was able to go in PetSmart with him and not even notice anybody in PetSmart because I had my focus on him.
Denise says some of the veterans she's worked with are now sleeping better and off medication. She thinks service dogs could benefit many more.
I don't know why it's not more commonly used. I think it should be. I think dogs are the best medicine and the least expensive.
But Dr. Mitchell says service dogs should only be part of a bigger treatment plan.
I think where we want to be cautious is not giving the false impression that could in any way replace treatment, because there's just no evidence to suggest at this time that it would be an appropriate replacement.
That's why right now the Veterans Administration doesn't pay for service dogs, but Denise hopes that if they see more success stories like Brian and Donner, they'll start to reconsider.
It really makes me feel good to see these guys get out in the world again, and to know a dog did that.